Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win and you find a way to lose. Listen, man, I'm rooting for Tank Davis. But more importantly, man, I'm rooting for his kid or kids, okay? But let me tell y'all something. You know, I don't talk a lot about my experiences and the things I did and my career before I retired and how many people that I was responsible for, okay? Because, you know, when you get on here on YouTube and you want to create your own, do so. This is like fun for me, okay? But there's only so much of who I am that I'm going to share. But what I'll tell you, okay, this isn't even the whole Hood Champion character talking right now. This is me. You see, with the young lady coming out with this response to what happened with Tank Davis, and a lot of people who are creating all these videos, right? And going to Twitter and everybody's saying, "Oh yeah, Tank wasn't lying. We told you guys, don't be so quick to assume or make him guilty." Okay? And I expect that. The knee-jerk reactions to anything and everything comes out because everybody wants to be the first to post a video, to create content, to get the most views and potentially gain some subscribers. And maybe even a couple people hit the super thanks button, put a little money in their pocket, right? But this is me talking. Now, having dealt with multiple situations like this, let me tell you how this is looked at, okay? So for those people who are saying, yeah, we knew he wasn't guilty, right? I'm not saying he is or isn't guilty. What I'm telling you is how a person who's in a position to make a decision about that child's safety and about those two, right? Tank Davis, because of everything he's gone through already with history of, now they're calling him a repeat offender, repeat domestic abuser, right? Let me tell y'all something. No one believes he's innocent. Now, these YouTubers and all these people on here who are just saying that they're supporting him, they believe him, whether it's because he's a boxer and they love boxing, because he's black, because, you know, or because he's a male, or because they just, whatever the reason is, right? Because everyone has a reason for why they're going to sit there and get behind people. But let me tell you, the people who can really affect this man's life, I'm talking about judges. I'm talking about police. Okay? I'm talking about lawyers. I'm talking about child services that can really make him miserable. People posting negative things on Twitter, that's just annoying. But I'm talking about the people that can really take happiness out of this man's life. In addition to himself, right? Because there's some culpability on his end. Those people are looking at him and they see him as guilty. And when she comes out immediately after he's released from jail, right? There's something that sets into a person. It's called victim's guilt. Now, I'm telling you from experience that when she posted this, that's probably one of the worst things she could have done. You see, Tank Davis, this is the baby's mother, and just for everyone as a whole, she needs to stay off social media. She shouldn't even have put this out to the world. Okay? Because what this is going to be considered as victim's guilt. She truly is a victim, is how they're going to see it. They got into it, right? They both were at fault for getting into it. There was a child there. Okay? things escalated, she called the police on him. You see, once that happens, people think, oh, she can just come now and not press charges. And she can do that. But that doesn't mean law enforcement can't press charges on him or decide to push the case. That doesn't mean the child protective services aren't going to go now and come to that house for a visit. You see? And if there's any camera footage in that house, which I'm sure has a security system, and then now they could take it a step further and want to see that. Because they can't ask the child what happened. They can try. But it's a young child. But if the child can talk, they can ask. And you know, when children are small like that, depending on the age, she's going to say what happened. And sometimes they may ramble on about some things, but the child's going to say something. So what I'm telling you guys who are watching this video, listen, this isn't about saying, attaboy Tank, we knew you were innocent. This is about, hey, if these judges, lawyers, police, child protective services, if they don't come after you, if they don't come after the young lady who obviously did some things to you, right? Now, for those of you who are saying, well, what did she do to Tank? Let me show you something real quick, and I'm going to come back and finish what I'm saying, all right? I'm going to switch screens now, okay? Now, just look at this, okay? That's baby shit she put on a toothbrush. That's spit in his face, okay? That's her there with the baby. Look at this house. Look at his shirt rip. Obviously, there was a fight. But watch it again. There's a toothbrush with baby crap on the mirror. She spit in his face, and he left out the house because they were fighting. Look at all that broke stuff in the house. Now, what that's called, what he did by posting these images, right? That's called victim stance. So she's come out with this post that's called victim's guilt. Him showing these images, that's called him taking a victim stance. Like, look at what she did to me. That's his way of getting the attention off of him and putting it back on her. Now, this is the problem with that. And I'm going to tell you how it's going to be looked at. Not these clown YouTubers out here who are just sitting here, yeah, Tank, everybody wants to hate on Tank, hate on it. That's an uneducated lens, somebody who's uneducated with their uneducated lens looking at this. What a person is going to see is, okay, we have enough on him to really pursue this if we want, because she said it. That's victim guilt. This letter she wrote, okay, we get it. But when they start peeling the layers back, why'd you call? If they go and get access to videos or whatever footage they have of the altercation, then that's really going to be a problem for them both. Then they're also going to look at what he said with these images and going to say, damn, okay, obviously she's involved too. So now they're both in a horrible position. Both of them. Okay? And there's a no contact order. But let me tell you, when both of them are in bad shape, and Child Protective Services gets involved, and they deem that home is unsafe, or with whatever happened, they feel that the child could be in danger, even if there's a no contact order. If they feel there's a safety issue, a safety risk for that child, even with a no contact order and Tank being somewhere else, they'll come in and they can take that child. And then Tank and the baby's mother, right? That is a different set of miserable, different set of anger, different set of hurt. These people come and take that child. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen that happen. I've been on the other side. or you have domestic issues. From the man to the woman to the man. And I would say 50% of the time, it ended up being a situation where the guy wasn't being respectful, being responsible, and things, and he made some horrible choices, from getting physical or whatever. Okay, even neglecting children. The other 50% of the time, we see a female, where she's the one who's the aggressor, the one who's doing all the craziness to the male. And when there are children involved, right? I've seen this happen. Man, you got a complete stranger. Don't care what certifications they have, what education they have, what licenses they have, right? These people come in, woo your child, try to make them a little comfortable, and they take your child out of there. So for these two, there's nothing good about her putting this post out, talking about, oh, we're going to counseling now. Look, there's nothing good about that. Because I'm telling you, the educated eye is watching this and saying, oh, that's what most victims do. They feel bad after they tell the truth. And they get, whether it's a boyfriend, the husband, the friend, or whatever the relationship is, when they get that person in trouble, they start to feel guilty. And that's where they'll come back and recant their statement and everything else. But once you already put that out to the world, you can't take that back. Now, what I'm hoping for is that they both dodge a bullet. No one gets involved with their drama. They can really resolve it. And that baby gets to stay with the mother or whoever has custody of the child. Gets to stay with the parents. Okay? That's what I'm most concerned about. Because, man, it's not a good feeling. And the other thing that we don't know, right? When Tank got arrested, see, this is people don't think about this because they haven't been on, maybe they've been on his side, so they're always going to talk from a side of, yeah, the woman's wrong, or they've been on the woman's side where they're going to talk like, yeah, the man's wrong. But when you've been on the side that I've been on for over 20, almost 25 years, right? Let me tell you, nobody caring about the man or the woman. It's about the child. And when they're looking at this, they're looking at this as not good. And something that no one's thinking about when it comes to Tank when he got arrested. He was emotional. What did he say when he went down to that station? Because this is something else that I've seen. When you got a male or a female in a domestic dispute, right? Even if it's not something between the husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, a child's father and the child's mother, right? Whenever someone ends up down there arrested and they feel like, man, I'm going to go to jail, or I need to say something to try to soften the blow that's coming my way, they end up saying things about the person who put them in that position, and more than likely it's not something positive. And once you go on record and you make those kind of statements, or you write a statement, or whatever you do, right? Because I've seen where they talk to people, but they record it and they make them write it. Once you put together a statement, sworn statement, right? It don't matter how you go back to the honeymoon stage when you get out of jail or staying overnight or whatever. Once you get out of there and you come back to the person, you both feel horrible. Oh, you're hugging, you're this. Even if there's a no contact order, I'm sure they've talked, right? But you come back and you almost go back to a honeymoon stage because there's so much guilt and feeling horrible. You may even come together, hug, kiss, have some crazy sex, and everything seems nice. But at some point, it's a cycle, right? It's a cycle. After the honeymoon stage, come back to reality. And then there's little things that's going to come up and happen you're going to think about, and you're going to try to suppress that. But at some point on that cycle, you're going to get beyond, so you go from honeymoon stage to dealing with reality. Then after that, you come back, and that's where the turbulence hits again. because the finger pointing, the blame, the anger. It starts all over again. Then it escalates. Another domestic dispute. Right? This isn't something that I'm making up. I'm telling you about that cycle. This isn't psychology books, man. Stuff I'm telling y'all isn't something I made up. I got a yellow folder, man. It's over there somewhere. I don't feel like digging it out. I pull out that yellow folder, man. I break all that stuff down to you because I had to really master a lot of that. I'm giving you a really diluted breakdown, but it's an honest and legit breakdown that you can take what I'm saying and share it with someone else. But I'm telling you, I don't think this is the end of his situation. But what my advice would be to him, and this isn't as this guy Hood Champion who has this boxing page. This is as me. My thing would be, just go ahead and get out. You're not married to her. I understand it's hard. I really do. But man, that's not what you need. That's not what she needs. Especially if y'all aren't married. But unfortunately, don't get me wrong, kids are a blessing, but it's kind of unfortunate that you guys have a kid and there's so much, toxicity and turmoil and craziness going on. But you got to find the strength to deal with whatever's coming her way and just keep a cool head, take a deep breath and blow things out to make sure that you can preserve the sanity of that little one. Children don't need to grow up seeing that, man. Okay, and they definitely don't need to be taken from a home with a mother who loves them or a home from a dad who loves them and given over to the state with people who the child just becomes a number. Now, there are some instances where children's in a home but the parents don't care. That's why I was specific to say with the mother who loves the child and the father who loves the child. But no one's going to care that she's a great mother or he's a great father if they're fighting in front of the child and the child seeing nonsense. Okay? So that being said, I'm going to leave it alone. But you see, let me show y'all this again. I'm not sure some of y'all seen it again, but you see this right here? This stuff he's showing? That doesn't help him. That doesn't help her. That doesn't help their child. When these videos came out, these pictures, man, if you see all the idiots, it's like dealing with, fucking adolescents, man. They see this and they immediately start jumping on the bandwagon and saying horrible stuff about the young lady. Look, they're both guilty, man. They're both of them for acting with their goddamn shoe size. And this isn't okay for what she did, but it's not okay for him to post it because it puts her in a precarious position. It puts him in a bad position, but more importantly, it puts that damn baby of theirs in a horrible position. Because if you see something like this, let this know to the world. This is what's going on inside of our home with a child in here. You seeing this kind of crap? You think a child need to be in the house with this going on? Man, come on. Look at that. Taking crap feces and smearing it on the window, on the glass. You think a child's supposed to be in that kind of environment? Father gets spit in the face by the shit broken in the house fighting. You think a child's supposed to be around that? Look at his shirt ripped. He left out of it, obviously, to escape her. Now, when you just look at that alone, you tell me, you think a child's supposed to be in that? So y'all stop with all this kind of tunnel vision, man, and keeping your blinders up and just looking at, oh, yeah, Tank's innocent. She's a horrible. She's this. Or saying, nah, Tank's guilty. He's horrible. He's this. Nah, man, let's forget about all that, right? Both of them, things happen, escalated, don't know how to deal with that, and then they explode. You have a problem, cops get called. That's what happens. But what no one is really talking about, I'm the only one who's talking about it, is that child. And I don't like it. So for him, I think he needs to run far from her, because if she would those type of things she's doing, I don't know what he did to her. Whatever he may have done to get her that angry to where she does stuff like that, that means she is immature. And there is something wrong with her. And counseling is definitely needed. But also for Tank Davis, us knowing how he grew up. Listen to what he says. All the guys he went to the gym with, started boxing with, they're all dead. Okay? There's a situation here and an opportunity for them to really get help. But for him right now, he needs to, I don't care how much you like her, how much you enjoy having sex with her, how nice it is to be there, you and her with your daughter, him and her with the daughter together. Right now, he needs to run away from that. Because if she'll call the cops on you once and lie, if she lied, right, she'll do it again. And if she is really jealous, look, Tank is a multimillionaire as a superstar. He has all kind of women coming at him that he never in his life thought he would ever have. And most of them don't have good intentions. And that's the reality. But that being said, good luck to Tank. Good luck to that young lady. But I'm going to be watching this because I'm concerned about that child. Like, it really bothers me. Not Hood Champion, this content creator. That bothers me. I have 4 sons, man. They're all right here, chilling. We were out today at the mall, man, because, you know, I got my oldest son a couple pair of sneakers. He didn't want them, so he want to take them back. He plays ball, so he wants, you know, a couple new pair of Giannis's, the freaks, right? So the Uno freaks. So we go to the mall and we get them hooked up. I picked up this hat. You know, I like my fisherman hats. And I'm sitting there, and while I was walking, you know, we were sitting out eating, and of course I was on my phone. And I saw the stuff for the last couple of days about the girl and the toothbrush and all that. But I said, you know what? I couldn't imagine my kids being in something like that, because that takes a pound of flesh out you, man. Because it's like you can't escape it. You know what I mean? So I really hope that Tank gets everything squared away, because nobody, no man or female, should be walking around and having this done to them in front of their child. Period. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. I am in the breeze.